Wait. When the whole world was Pangea or whatever, that's when it happened. It broke off.
Bitches don't believe in Pangea.
I didn't say that.
Mr. Joe Green, Google it. Figure it out.
Deer swim? All
Across
right,
the
I'll
fucking
check it out.
ocean.
Yeah. Do deer swim? Not across it. Not to England, you fuck.
Welcome back, you degenerates, to the number one fantasy football podcast in the world. I'm your host, Mike, with my horrible co-host, Billy.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
I'm deer.
You deer?
I'm deer. Couldn't be more deer.
Did you see some deer in Atlantic City over there?
I did.
Yeah?
I saw a deer or two swimming around.
Swimming?
Yeah, deer swim. You don't know that?
In the ocean?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. How do you think deer got to where we live?
I don't even want to have this conversation on this podcast. But I'm pretty sure that wherever God created, he just put them in the planet. On this zone.
That's wild.
Or whoever.
Deer swim.
There's no way there's
I know deer
in
swim.
Atlantic
I
City.
believe you. Deer
There's deer in
swim.
Atlantic
They like cross
Not
a
like
lake.
on the.
I was gonna say if I
Like
see
you go
a
all the way
deer
down.
on the
You go all the way
boardwalk-
down.
Okay.
Not where I'm gambling.
Wait. Joe Green, you live like 2 minutes from the water.
Yes.
Have you seen a deer there?
Not
Swimming.
No, I've never seen.
That's
a deer
crazy.
swim.
They're afraid of salt water. Have to be.
How did they get to Fire Island?
They were born there.
That's wild.
Someone was like,
That's crazy.
let's make this a hunting place. They dropped a couple over there, and that was it.
No, they waited till we built the bridge. They just crossed it.
That's true too. What was it when
hold on.
Wait. When the whole world was Pangea or whatever, that's when it happened. It broke off.
Bitches don't believe in Pangea.
I didn't say that.
Mr. Joe Green, Google it. Figure it out.
Deer swim? All right,
Across the
I'll check
fucking
it out.
ocean.
Yeah. Do deer swim? Not across it. Not to England, you fuck.
You're right. They swim.
Of course I know.
We
man.
know
I've
they
seen
swim,
It.
but I never seen them swim
No,
in the
you
ocean.
said they're afraid of salt water.
They are.
No,
you're wrong.
they swim in everything.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
that
do.
cures them from the ticks. Smart.
Yeah.
Salt
Listen,
water.
I didn't know this was the Animal Planet podcast. That's
Yeah.
fucking sad.
Listen. He brought it up.
We're talking about multiple animals on the podcast.
The only animal
so-
here is a fucking pig. It's you.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay, whatever you say, you cow. Unbelievable. The
Anyway.
disrespect. The absolute disrespect.
Anyway, folks, we're talking about the NFC West this week. We got the Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, and Cardinals.
3 animals.
That-
One that swims.
The bird.
We don't know if a ram can swim.
I don't know. I'm just making that up.
The Rams.
Google it.
Oh, God.
Let's start off with the Rams. They have the first, number 1, hardest ranked schedule, along with the 16th farthest traveling team in miles with 17,000 miles. The key additions this week, well, not this week, this year, are Allen Robinson, who signed for a 3-year, $46 million deal. And I just had to put there Bobby Wagner just because he's one of the best linebackers out there. Not really fantasy relevant, but, you know, they lost Von Miller, so they just took another All-Pro.
Well, different position.
Different position, but linebackers, you know.
I'll have a comment when he's done.
That's fine. Losses, OBJ as of right now, because we don't think that he's going to re-sign there. Robert Woods and Andrew Whitworth. We don't usually put offense linemen, but because we put the Hall of Famer there, it is for good reason.
Yeah. I think Bobby Wagner has some sort of fantasy impact because he's the worst linebacker in the world when it comes to giving up yak yards.
No.
So
Okay.
So I'd be looking towards tight ends against the Rams. So slow. That's a way too early matchup thing.
Yeah, so tight ends.
Matchup against the Rams could be. Big yak guy.
I think our key topic with the Rams this year is what are we going to expect with Allen Robinson this year? Are we going to expect a bounce back year, or last year was historically bad for him? What are we going to expect? He was considered QB proof. That was, I don't know if last year was just a fluke or the system or what, but he looked awful.
Yeah. Listen, we've gone over it many times. Allen Robinson had Blake Bortles as quarterback, had 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
He had Mitch Trubisky,
Mhm.
1,100 yards.
Yep.
No matter who was throwing the ball, he'd make a play. If you're watching him play last year, it kind of looked like he gave up. That's at least to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am the personal belief that he wanted to do everything he could to not have to be back in Chicago. Everything possible. And I think he kind of lucked out that the Rams saw through that bullshit of him playing bad, quote unquote. And now he's gonna be with Matty Stafford, with Cooper Kupp on the other side. After a historic year from Cooper Kupp.
Yep. He's not gonna be the number one. He's gonna be
Bobby Trees 2.0.
He's gonna be 29. He came off a little bit of an injury season. I think 29's got to be the wide receiver prime, if you would say so. Probably 28, 29, I would say. It's going to be interesting how many targets he has this year. Last year, he had 60 targets. Historically, when he has a year where he's in the over 1K receiving yards, he gets about 150 targets per year, which is a lot. I don't see that many targets going his way this year. Not with the Rams. There's just too many weapons on this team. From Cooper Kupp, you got Tyler Higbee. You have third-year wide receiver Van Jefferson. You also have their second-round pick Atwell Tutu, who hopefully does something this year. A lot of that shows that he's not going to have as many targets, but maybe has a better year in yards per receptions, which was historically low for him, which was 10.8 last year.
To put that in perspective, the targets, that would have been 10th most last season, and Cooper Kupp had 191.
Yeah.
So that would have been, 200?
That's white on white crime right there. As Mike likes to say.
That would have been 340 targets on two players. It's not possible.
Not happening.
It's not happening.
I see 90 targets, I would say. I'd do that a fair number. That's 40 more than last year. That's the last time he had 90 targets was in Chicago when he was 25. He had 754 yards. He historically he hasn't had a large yards per reception. His best year was in 2017 when he only had one catch for 17 yards. But I read that quick. So.
No, in 2015 he had 17.5 yards.
Yeah,
but
that was his best year.
That was Blake Bortles, baby.
That was before his ACL. After that, he tore his ACL pretty much. So
there was definitely a whole year in between that.
Yeah.
In 2020, when Robert Woods played the whole year, Woods had 129 targets. Kupp had 124. Now, obviously, Kupp's better now than he was 2 years ago, but
obviously,
I think you could see him getting 100 targets.
Yeah, 100 targets is not out of the question whatsoever.
I think 90 to 100. Our next topic it has to touch upon it is what are we going to expect from the boost year of
the what?
The boost.
The boost.
The third-year boost year, like I've been saying all year round, of a third-year wide receiver, Van Jefferson, who obviously came off of a very strong year, who's expected to be better. I mean, they started playing him in the playoffs. He showed up a little bit. He's had a advanced year. We have some stats showing up. Jefferson finished 20th in route participation, which is 86%. It's the highest usage headed into 2022. His role should increase. Jefferson finished as wide receiver 35 last year and outside 40th in total points.
You expect a boost?
I expect the boost.
Even though they brought in Allen Robinson?
Well, I expect the boost because OBJ didn't change much.
I think this is why they didn't bring OBJ back, because they have that much faith in Van Jefferson.
Exactly.
I think they just didn't want to pay OBJ what he wanted.
I mean,
but they probably have faith that Van Jefferson could fill some of that role.
And OBJ did have a major injury. Yeah. Robinson obviously just, I don't think he just wanted to play last year. So
he hated Matt Nagy so much that he just could never play football.
Third year, big boost. That's all I got to say. He's got to be in the third year wide receiver. You got to love any wide receiver that is going to average 16 yards per reception. It's quite amazing. He had 89 targets last year. If he can get somewhere between 100 and 110, which is going to be hard considering this offense, it would be amazing. He would continue to be a top 35 wide receiver.
I think the only problem is last year he was second on the team with 89 targets.
Yeah.
Obviously, Robert Woods got hurt. OBJ came in
late.
halfway. Yeah. So now you add Allen Robinson, another big target guy. It's going to be tough for him to get more than 90 targets.
I know.
That's
the only thing.
Yeah, Cam Akers
gone the
obviously.
whole year.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be difficult. That's it. He's going to be like a guy who gets one deep ball a game maybe.
And you're hoping that he just takes it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
What about Tyler Higbee?
Tyler Higbee. This is the hard part is ranking him because he really showed off, especially at the late end of the season. He arguably had one of his best years. He had 2019 was his best year, but this year, first year with the Rams, played 15 games, 85 targets, 560 yards, and 5 touchdowns.
This wasn't his first year with the Rams.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First time with Stafford. Stafford's been, I wouldn't say throws to the tight end a lot. He's not. I mean, he had Ebron in his career, but besides that, that's the only person you could look back on. It's going to come down to targets. I can see possibly more touchdowns with Higbee. And Higbee also had a sprained MCL in his knee in the playoffs, so let's see if he has a little bit of rust from that. I think for Higbee, I would expect probably the same season as he had last year.
Yeah, I don't expect too much from Higbee. There's nothing that really like tells me that he's going to be a top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
Like, there's just not enough volume for him. You know, you're going to have hopefully Cam Akers back 100%, not rushing the ball 2.1 yards per carry. At the end of the day, tight end is such a fickle little position that you don't know week in, week out the consistency you're going to get. So
I think I'll like him as a backup role, pick him up off free agents when I need that bye week. He might go on a course of the season where he has a little bit of a trend. You might want to keep him on your bench, but I'm not going to be looking into drafting him this year.
Yeah. No, there's just not enough balls to go around. Yeah. 85 targets last year again, and they didn't have Robert Woods for half the season.
Yeah. If somebody gets hurt, I would look for him. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see because I think they're not, obviously with this offensive line, we got a new starting left tackle. Then I have a new starting right guard who they drafted in the 3rd round. This offensive line is not going to look that great. I think bringing back Brian Allen was good. I see him playing a lot inside, blocking at the tight end position.
I will say Stafford is the kind of quarterback who could support like 2 top 10 or not top 10, top 25 wide receivers. Mm-hmm. So like if I could see Robinson and Kupp both falling in there. I mean, they threw the ball 9th most in the NFL last year. So
I mean, how much did that have to do with not having Cam Akers? We keep saying it until somebody gives you a real answer because they're a power run offense.
You could also say, where's the play action going to go? You might have a couple less receptions, but you maybe have an extra 5-10 yards on one reception to one wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting team because we saw them with more games than anybody else last year.
Yep.
Saw them throughout the playoffs. Saw them win. There's the most data for that team, and they were never healthy the whole year. So it's kind of hard to figure out what you're truly going to get.
Yep. One thing you got to consider when you're rooting for Rams players, you're also kind of rooting for this defense. I don't think we actually think about it that way, but if you have a better defense, your offense has more chances on the playing field. Mm-hmm. You have one of the top rate defenses, your offense should show more.
You could also say though, like if you're like a bottom tier team and you own like a wide receiver on one of those bottom tier teams, they're just throwing the ball because they're trailing all game.
So like Allen Robinson.
I think
many years.
I think it works to like a stream, like for the stream aspect, and then also the opposite.
Right.
Yeah. Let's move on.
49ers. 5th ranked hardest schedule this year. 8th farthest traveling team with 20,000 miles. Flying high, baby.
I'm going to start using these in our fantasy football league. Oh, I got to travel all the way to Matt's house this week. All those miles.
Really putting a hurt on my team.
Key additions. They drafted a running back in the 3rd round.
Nope. What's his name, Mike?
Tyron Davy Price.
Almost.
What is it?
Tyrion. There's an I in there. Definitely an I in there.
Definitely an I in Davis, too. Not Davy I. Or whatever you just...
Davy.
Davy. That's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah, he said that. He got that right.
I thought you said Davy.
See, like folks, you see, the people
Davey,
try to
Davi.
people try to bring me down. Like I understand, like this, like your mama didn't know how to give you a name, and then I said the right name right.
No, you didn't.
So
Davis.
Is it
Davis?
Davies?
Davis.
Oh, it's
You
Davis.
spelt it wrong again.
I spelled it wrong.
Because you're-
God damn it.
People take you down.
Who put the E next to that I? God damn.
It's nobody but you. Ain't nobody but you.
I'm looking at the depth chart. I'm like, where did you get Davy
It's
from?
like the 7th time he's done
It
it.
sounds better, right?
It does.
It does sound better. I agree. It sounds
Tyrion
better.
Davy Price. That's
It,
his name
it
now.
flows off the tongue better, but
Davis.
Davy Price. That
I'm telling you, it does. It flows off the tongue
I
better.
like it.
I don't think that's how you'd spell Davy, but we can go with it.
Yeah.
Is
Another-
Yeah, you could.
it? Alright.
Davy.
I don't know.
I thought it'd be Y.
I wouldn't spell that first name like that either. Danny Gray, he was a 3rd round draft pick, right receiver. He's normally in this kind of slot. Don't expect much from him year 1. Key topics. We are expecting Trey Lance to be the starter. Are we not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope so.
Although Garoppolo's not, I wouldn't be shocked if he's on the team. Let's put it that
No,
way.
no, I'm not. I won't
No,
try his
yeah.
I think he'll probably be on the team.
There's,
Yeah.
I mean, Trey Lance had injuries last year, so I'm not shocked if he's on the team just for that reason.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird dynamic, though. You go from the starter, got your team to the NFC Championship, and now you're riding the bench behind a guy who can't really throw a football. Well, apparently in training camp he's been throwing the football while our OTAs. But.
And-
Well, same thing with Tua. Tua is
Yeah,
a better.
yeah.
According to Tyreek Hill, Tua is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes, which is
so,
bonkers.
yeah.
It could be an interesting offense if Trey Lance has full control. You know, there was a couple games he was in that he didn't game plan to be in the game. He just was thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, last year he succeeded. Just under 60% completion percentage. He had 5 touchdowns, 168 rushing yards, which, fun fact, is more than Trey Sermon had.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
In 3 games. I'd be willing to stash him bright and early because I don't think after last year everybody rushed to draft him because he was the new name and he didn't play.
Best team, that obviously.
Yeah.
Take your QB.
There was a lot of hype that they thought he'd start.
Yeah.
He did not.
Well, there's a lot of hype this year that they think he's starting. So, yeah.
True. But
Just-
didn't they? Wasn't there a rumor that they guaranteed him the starting spot in the offseason?
Guarantee, buddy.
I'm just
Hey,
saying. I thought I remember
You
them saying in the
guaranteed to
offseason.
take me to Montauk once. That stuff happened.
I
Oh,
thought
hear
they
nothing
did.
about it.
I don't know. I have to double check on the Lance thing though.
I thought they was going to double check on Montauk. but-
Yeah, never.
Almost.
Listen, Lance got a big arm. He's not the
Damn
most accurate.
Nope.
You know, if he's throwing to a brick wall, he'll hit it. You just don't know what part of the wall he's gonna hit it.
That's like saying he throws into the ocean. He'll land somewhere in the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's trying to hit a deer.
yeah. Look, see, deer swim.
In their natural habitat. right,
Natural
Mike?
habitat.
Natural swim with their
baby.
webbed feet.
Key word of the week. Word of the week. Habitat. Habitat. I belong in my habitat.
Yeah, in the ocean.
With the whales.
Kyle Shanahan's offense, we all know what it is. A lot of running, a lot of safe passes, a couple deep balls on the play action, but he won't put him in trouble. I don't think. You know, they're a very run-heavy team, so if the opportunity is there and he's having a bad game, they just bail him out so he can kind of keep his job. So I like Trey as like a little, backup. Leave him on my bench for a few weeks. Try him out on a positive matchup. Maybe when George Kittle's going against the Rams against Bobby Wagner. I don't know. We'll find out.
I have a hot take. I think he's going to finish as top 10 quarterback.
Whoa,
I'm
you
not-
fucking hated him last year.
He
And
hates him
listen,
this year.
I hate him still. I as far as,
You
listen,
don't need to tell me.
Jalen Hurts was the same thing last year. Guy doesn't have a good arm, not a good throwing a football.
Mhm.
As long as you can run, we've seen those guys do well in fantasy. It doesn't mean you're a good
Well,
quarterback.
He's got a good arm.
Yeah,
But
but
there's a difference. Like
yeah,
Jalen
yeah.
Hurts isn't a good thrower of the football.
He's not accurate, nor does he have a good arm.
Yeah,
And
like,
Lance has the arm, just not accurate.
Lance can become accurate.
Yes,
You can't really
he
teach
could work
somebody
on
to
it.
be stronger.
No,
You can't somebody have a bigger dick. It just doesn't happen, Jalen Hurts. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
So the 7-Eleven Rhino pills don't work?
No.
All right, damn.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts found out the hard way.
So did you, Joe.
But no, I think listen, like you said, he's gonna cater the offense to him, right? So if he's struggling throwing the ball, read option, and he's just gonna take off.
Yeah.
Every time.
And
But when does he get hurt then?
Now, this is the thing with the 49ers. We're going to talk next about a bunch of running backs, but why do we always have to talk about 4 or 5 running backs in the offseason for the 49ers?
Because they're all hurt.
They're always hurt. Because all they do is run the ball.
Although
Jimmy G's always hurt. Everybody's always hurt on this team.
no Mostert this year though.
No, because he's hanging out with Tua.
Yeah, he's getting that sun over there. The 49ers last year spent 6th round pick on Elijah Mitchell. This year they spent 3rd round pick on Davy Price. They spent a 3rd round pick last year on Trey Sermon, who is in the doghouse, and I don't think is ever coming out.
No. Sermon is.
Didn't Sermon fumble a lot last year?
He hardly touched the ball.
He didn't touch the ball.
Why did
He
I
ran.
think he fumbled?
He played in 9
fumble.
games.
He fumbled in one game, which was a key game, and I wouldn't say he lost it for him, but after that he was just not go sit in the
Yeah,
back.
it was still earlier in the season, but it was like a big moment in the game. He just gave the ball away, and he's like, "All right, that's it. You're done." He played 9 games, rushed the ball 41 times for 167 yards, which, like we said, the guy who's playing a different position and only played 3 games had more rushing yards than he did.
Let me tell you, they still have Wilson. They re-signed him this year, and they still have Hasty. There's 5 running backs on this team right now.
Yep.
And all of them have seen, I mean, besides the rookie, all of them have seen playing time last year, whether they're at 1 game starting or they had more than 15 rushing attempts. They've all did it last year.
Yep. But Elijah Mitchell's clearly the best back.
I was gonna say Elijah Mitchell's clearly.
I really
like
like Davy Price.
I really like Sermon, but he's never going to play.
Yeah, because he's in doghouse, and Sherman's doghouse, you don't come out.
Shanahan's talking?
Shanahan's, yeah.
Just
Sherman's. I don't know why I said
No, I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
He's never going to play again.
I'm surprised that when we talked about him later, I'm surprised that what's his name? Brandon Ayuk got out of doghouse. So surprised.
That's because he's a needed part. You can
You
find
would say-
any running back.
You could say that spending a 3rd round pick on Trey Sermon is a needed part.
Yeah, but at the same time that he's got 5 running backs, they just got to run. It's just a Kyle Shanahan offense. It's like, oh, you don't want to play? Fine, somebody else is going to play.
They just have so much surplus at running back.
Yeah.
They don't have surplus of receiver. They had no choice but to get Ayuk involved.
Yeah.
Give me the stat, Billy, about Mitchell.
Listen, Elijah Mitchell was given 81% of the opportunity share when he played in those 10 games last year, which is the highest any running back has ever had in a Kyle Shanahan offense. That's a rookie.
Rookie. 6th round rookie.
Almost not drafted. Played well. He was a star in fantasy for a little bit before he got hurt.
Average 4.7 yards per attempt.
That's pretty good.
Believe it or not, he was not a good receiver. As you would think that a smaller receiver would be good. Only 19 receptions in those 10 games. Only 137 yards. 7 yards per reception. It was not that good.
He caught 19. He was thrown at 20 times.
I'm not saying he's a bad receiver. I'm just saying where this offense stands passing to the running back, I don't see upside there.
Well, that was because of what they did with Debo last year. They were going to throw the ball out of the backfield. They were going to throw the ball
Sure.
to Debo.
Sure.
So, like, a lot of these, when we talk about Brandon Ayuk, like, a lot of this stuff was like they were using Debo as every single position on the field. And I don't know if it was necessarily him being in the doghouse, but more of like he just isn't being used because Debo's being so efficient.
It'd be interesting to see if they could re-sign Debo because I don't think he's coming out to play unless he has a new contract.
Well, Mr. Joe Green said he reported to camp. So
Did he?
Debo reported, yes.
yeah.
But Debo
He wants to be traded. He doesn't want to be on the
Debo reporting to camp and Debo playing is 2 different things.
Right. He still could hold out to start the season, but he showed up for now. He didn't want to pay the fines, so he showed up.
Yeah, he doesn't. It's not that he wants to. He just wants to be off the team. He doesn't want to be.
No,
there.
I think he wants to be on the team. I just don't think he wants to play running back.
From what I understood was like the situation changed a bit. He just wants a new contract more than anything. But like he wanted to be paid like he's playing two positions because he is. So
Yeah.
there's still a lot between now and August to be worked out there.
Next up, let's talk about Brandon Ayuk. He was our big year last year. He was one of my key players who I thought were going to go off. He was obviously drafted in that way. And he started off the year horrible.
Did you draft him last year?
No, I did not. Okay. No, I didn't.
I just wanted to try to.
Did you?
I took him in one league, very high.
It's like a second-round pick.
No,
third.
It was him or Cooper Kupp. One league I took Kupp, the other took Brandon Ayuk. Obviously,
can you believe that?
We
thought Ayuk and then Kupp were in the same category.
I did.
Listen, I was high. I was high on Ayuk.
Yeah, everyone liked Ayuk.
Just a key stat: nearly 50% of his receiving yards last year came in the last 6 games. So, like I said, he started off horrible last year, but he clearly picked it up. Some of his best games played against good defenses, which was the Rams. His last game played in the Rams, 7 targets, 6 receptions for 107 yards. His other games against some bad defenses,
like
Houston,
Atlanta,
and Atlanta.
Cincinnati didn't have a great secondary.
Cincinnati,
Tennessee had a bad secondary. One
Cincinnati
of the worst in the league.
I don't know if I would say horrible.
No, it just wasn't good.
They had
secondary.
some 2 All-Pro safeties over there. But like I said, he obviously had a better year than his rookie year. Stats show for it. But at the same time, his rookie year, he only started 11 games, had only 100 less yards than he did his second year, which he played in all games.
Yep. I mean, his yards per target increased by 2. He was running deeper routes. The offense changed though.
Yes.
The offense was constantly changing last year. I want to see what the deal with Debo is before I make any assumptions on anybody outside of George Kittle.
Well, I think the whole team, even with Kittle, it's tough because if Trey Lance is the quarterback and Trey Lance hasn't improved dramatically, they're not gonna throw the ball a lot. I mean, we kind of saw last year, even Kittle at times had like 1 reception games.
Yeah,
like Debo was the only one because he was getting the ball out of the backfield.
This is a team that you have to actually watch the preseason with.
Yeah, you have to see how
Lance
it
looks.
looks.
Yeah,
if Lance isn't throwing the ball well, I'm avoiding everyone other than Debo.
I mean, yeah.
And like Brandon,
obviously, in a running back, you want to avoid it too, just because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, but like think about this: Ayuk is the 3rd option on a run-first team. It never works. It doesn't matter how good he is. It's not going to work unless unless Debo gets hurt or Kittle gets hurt,
or if Debo is playing mostly running back and Ayuk's the only wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah, because 5 of their running backs get hurt.
Yeah.
You never know.
But
they get hurt.
That wasn't a sarcastic thing.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
They did it.
It happened last year.
So it would be interesting. This is a team you obviously have to see how they actually run the offense, and then we'll go based off that. Next off, we'll talk about the Seahawks. 11th ranked, hardest schedule. They're traveling the farthest with 29,000 yards. Not good.
That's a lot of miles.
A lot of miles over here on Billy.
Money.
Drew Lock, he's going to most likely be the starter for this team. He's one of the key additions on the trade that sent Russell Wilson.
Don't count out Geno Smith yet.
I'm not counting Geno out.
He cut me off
Drew
again.
Lock
He's going to die.
stinks.
Drew Lock was one of the key aspects in the trade to get Russell Wilson to go to the Denver Broncos.
Whoa, key assets. Let's calm down now. I think Noah Fant was more of a key asset than Drew Lock was.
Let me just say this.
I think there's a lot of things that made
they
that
did
trade
not
happen.
if they didn't need Drew Lock, they didn't have to why would you take that contract for no reason?
What contract? He's on a rookie deal.
He's on a rookie deal.
Yes, it's still a contract.
He was a 2nd-round pick. He's not making that much money.
He's a first-round pick.
No.
Wasn't he?
No, I'll tell you right now, he was a 2nd-round pick.
It says it on here. No, it doesn't.
Did you say no? It doesn't. No. I'm telling you, he was a 2nd-round pick.
No, because you see, like, if you see in the lineup, it says the
trade.
2 or
2nd-round pick 42.
Yeah,
not even.
So it's not that bad. But it was it wasn't a throw in. They said I want Drew Lock.
Yeah, because he's a
'Cause
young quarterback.
We need a quarterback.
They didn't have one. It's,
If it-
well,
oh,
Gino.
And you're going to take Baker?
Geno Smith looked great last year for them, considering.
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, you still we'll give it a shot. That was what
Yeah.
they figured.
And guess what? So key addition, and I put him as a starter.
All right, key addition, sure, but I'm just saying, you made it seem like it was a key asset and why the deal got done.
He's not even the starter yet.
I guarantee he's the starter. You want to guarantee it?
Geno's no, I'm not a guarantee.
All right, shut the fuck up. Another key addition is Kenneth Walker, and we'll talk about why later, and why Kenneth Walker is one of the biggest running backs going into next season. Well, this season, and obviously, which Joe Green is a huge fan of during the trade, is Noah Fant going to the Seahawks.
All I said was he was more of a key factor than Drew Lock. was.
The more key factor Noah Fant in his natural habitat on the Seahawks.
Why is it natural
I don't
habitat?
know.
Just had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
It's that word of the week. What do you think is going to happen before we get into the running back situation? I added this right before the show. What's going to happen with the wide receiver core? What are we truly expecting here?
I think honestly I'm scared for Lockett.
I am too.
One reason
DK's sitting out.
I'm not worried about DK. They're just going to throw him a lot of money, or he's going to be on another team. So I'm not concerned.
Yeah, one of the two will definitely happen.
Yeah, so they're either going to throw him a lot of money, which I would, because this team is going into the future. It doesn't look bad. They have draft picks now thanks to the Denver Broncos. If Drew Lock somehow magically looks good, then he looks good. Then you have a QB for the future. If not, you have a stable young group, and maybe you just get a new coach next year. So, but I'm scared for Tyler Lockett because I think Tyler Lockett is he had a relationship with Russell Wilson. He is not one of the bigger wide receivers out there. He's not a DJ Metcalf who will win the jump ball. He will break down separation. He's fast, but if you go back and look at all Tyler Lockett's, a lot of his catches, they're perfectly in motion, perfectly thrown in a great opportunity. Russell Wilson's also scramble plays. That's going to Tyler Lockett just because he is more of the more exclusive wide receivers out there. He's able to break it down, change direction, and get to point A to point B for Russell Wilson. I don't see that for Drew Lock happening. He's not a running QB. If Geno Smith is the QB, then maybe that benefits Tyler Lockett. But for right now, I think it's DK Metcalf is going to be the one.
And it doesn't help, that the O-line is not very strong.
It's terrible.
Their defense isn't great. Other teams can control the game on them. With that, and you have a bad quarterback play at best, mediocre.
Yeah,
let's be honest. What it is, it's mediocre quarterback play at best. There's not as much opportunity as there was. So I'm very low on both of them.
I do think if Geno starts, well, I think either way DK will be fine. But Geno did well with DK. If you guys remember, he had 5 touchdowns, 300 yards, 19 receptions in the 4 games. So I think DK will be fine. Drew Lock likes throwing to bigger receivers. So, he's going to throw it to DK. But, yeah, Lockett's the one I'd be most concerned about.
Cortland Sutton has popped off these years. Right?
All right.
I want to be clear that he loves throwing to big
Sutton's big year was with Drew Lock.
That's what I'm saying. The one big year he
was
had.
a huge year, right?
He was a top 18 wide receiver.
But Locke only played 5 of those games.
But
that was Locke's rookie year.
Yes.
Yeah.
That we're essentially saying Drew Lock, this is his second year.
Yeah, but last year we were drafting DK Metcalf in the second round.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that this
year.
No,
I wouldn't be doing it.
DK Metcalf's in the third round this year.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be doing it.
It's a risk.
That's a risk.
It's a risk.
I'm a risker for DJ Metcalf over Tyler Lockett. That's all I'm going to say.
I would too. He's still the younger guy.
Usually we're ranking them. I mean, they finish right by each other every year.
Yep.
Yeah, I do think just Russ is just a massive loss. For Tyler Lockett specifically, not having that accurate quarterback who's gonna, like you said, extend the play, and Lockett was so good at getting open. I just don't see it happening with Drew Lock or Geno Smith.
Yeah. So it's just Noah Fant then.
Yeah.
The key addition.
I think Noah Fant is the key addition with Drew Lock because they have a relationship, and that's something that I think early on is going to play a key part of this offense because Noah Fant is, if he's healthy and Drew Lott's passing to him, I think that's going to be his number one go-to.
Yeah, and he's a big wide receiver.
That's the reason I do have right now Noah Fant as my 10th rate tight end, which he could go higher.
The funny thing with Font is he is a pretty good receiver, but he plays like such a bitch.
He is a bitch.
And when I say that, he goes down to DBs. Like, DBs tackle him. Like, it's no problem. It's like, dude, you're 6'6", whatever you are. You should be able to just run over those guys.
He's at tight end U from Iowa. He needs to be a monster.
He needs to be a monster, right? But, yeah, you're probably right. That's going to be Drew Lock's guy early on.
I have him as 10th ranked tight end as of right now in my early rankings. If you guys saw, check out our Instagram. He could go higher. I could easily see him at that 6th position.
Ooh, a little spicy.
Bold.
A little spicy.
A little jalapeno over there.
Next topic is a little bit of a news that we got over this past weekend, that Chris Carson might need to be forced to retire. Who will win the job? We have Kenneth Walker, who is arguably supposed to be the second best running back to come out of the 2022 draft. He was drafted 2nd round on the 22 pick. Oh, actually, no, that's wrong. He's just drafted 2nd round. I don't know where he was drafted. We have Rashaad Penny, who's a former 1st-round pick from the Seahawks, who hasn't really been able to stay healthy.
Well, real quick, let's just break down the Chris Carson thing on why he might have to retire.
Yeah.
I mean,
AIDS.
He has a neck injury. He had to get screws put into his neck.
Yeah.
He has to go visit doctors over the next coming weeks to see if he's even allowed to play football again. He doesn't want to retire. The doctors will determine whether he could safely play football again. So we'll probably know before fantasy drafts start. But yeah, Pete Carroll said he doesn't think he's coming back.
He's not coming back.
I don't think he wants him back as well.
I mean, it sounds dangerous. Yeah.
Sounds dangerous.
I mean, Carson hasn't exactly looked good the last 2 years.
Well, he's been hurt.
Yeah.
He's always hurt.
He's been hurt for a while now. His knees have been the problem, but now that he has a neck issue, I mean.
Yeah, I've heard these rumors for a little bit, and it's just now it's kind of like it came out as official news. It's just he's done.
It's been 3 years since he's played a full season, and that was the last time he had a really good season. Yeah, it's not looking good for him right now.
How many years is in his contract?
I believe he's probably still on his rookie deal. Wait, no, he can't be.
He's on a second.
He's
contract.
on his 6th. Yeah, it's 6th year in this season. I'm not sure. I'll have to look up his contract.
Anyway, we are talking about now Kenneth Walker and Rashaad Penny taking over as running backs for this team. And who do you think is going to be the starting running back for this team?
I think that they're going to split more time than people think.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I do think.
Okay.
Sometimes I think. You know me, big Rashaad Penny guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Jesse Kaluch. big.
We'll
Rashaad
tag you in
Penny
this
guy.
one.
Tag you. Rashaad Penny won me fantasy last year.
Yeah.
He's a god in the playoffs.
He's just a god. He's just, he just finds a way to help people win. And we all thank him in our own way.
I mean, look at that game log. The last 5 games of the
this,
season. Yeah.
Yep. At the same time, we know who Rashaad Penny is. We know the risk that comes with him constantly being hurt. He's never truly on the field for a full 17 now. On the other side, you have Kenneth Walker out of Michigan State. The team that never throws the ball to the running back, no matter who is there. They had Le'Veon Bell, probably one of the best pass-catching backs we've seen in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a stat line much different than his. He wasn't getting the ball thrown to him. So when people said that coming out of the draft, you can't catch a football, it's not. You don't know if that's true. You haven't seen it. You don't know if he's got the hands or not. He looked good in the combine, but you have to wait and see. There's a lot of upside with Kenneth Walker, and there's a lot of risk with Rashaad Penny. I'll say that.
Rashaad Penny last year in the last 5 weeks of the season finished as RB1. RB1. Not 2, not 3, RB1.
In that 5-week span, you're talking
In that
about.
5-week span, RB1. It's not even close.
RB1.
Going against Arizona, last game of the season, 190 yards. Second game of the season, last season, 170 yards. Then he had 135 against Chicago. He had 137 against Houston.
And then you add in the 6 touchdowns.
6 touchdowns.
Yep.
All I gotta say is Rashaad Penny might be going down as the most underrated running back going into next year.
Mm-hmm. And you can get him at a great value.
You're gonna get him at great value. He's considered as a PPR ranked 31 at running back.
Yeah.
That's running back. That's horrible. You
Kenneth,
tell me 31 more running backs are better than him? No.
Kenneth Walker is going like 5 rounds ahead of him.
Okay.
That's crazy.
In sleeper overall, he's getting 105th pick in sleeper.
Yep.
Well, just to play devil's advocate to this, I mean, they drafted a running back early. Their team sucks. That's probably why he's going low. And he's not much of a. They don't throw him the ball much out of the backfield.
Yeah.
They don't throw the ball much out of the backfield, though. They didn't.
They didn't. I'm saying.
They didn't.
But I'm just playing devil's
But now
advocate.
we have that key addition.
Key addition, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. Who occasionally throws the ball to the running back.
I'm just saying, playing the other
Yeah.
side of it. That's why he's going as low as he is.
Also, I have an argument for Billy's comment about how Michigan State, Walker didn't get a lot of third down possessions. Third down equals passing downs for running back. You want to know why?
Tell me why.
He's considered one of the worst pass blocking running backs in the league as of today.
He just hasn't played it down yet.
Doesn't matter. In college, he was horrible.
Oh, in college.
He was
In college, he was horrible.
They very rarely threw the ball.
It doesn't matter. They won't put him out there.
How are you going to practice pass protection if they throw the ball 10 times in a game?
Horrible.
They're basically Army.
How can you trust a rookie running back to pass protect for your QB if he's horrible?
The same way you could,
And he's not even big in stature, so you know it's already a negative going at him.
I don't know.
If you can't pass protect
Like
in
the
third
way he
down, then
runs.
you're not. If you can't pass protect in third down, then you're not going to be in passing downs, which means you're not going to have receptions.
I didn't realize Walker has a hamstring injury at OTAs.
Ooh, don't love that.
Well,
Dealing with
so does
hamstring
Penny. He was out too.
So who's running now?
Nobody.
Chris Carson with no neck.
You don't need knee.
Chris
you only
Carson with
need
no
needs.
neck and no knees. Little stump running around.
Oh god.
I don't care. If you are getting drafted 102 on my league, I'm gonna quickly pick you up and stash you. So go for it.
I agree. I think that for what it's worth, Rashaad Penny is worth the risk, and for what it's worth, Kenneth Walker going in the 4th round is a little too pricey for me. So, there's a fine line.
No, it is. Especially the Seahawks resigned Penny for a 1-year, $5 million deal. $5 million, that's starter running back money.
I mean, you see those last 5 games?
He's actually the
He's
largest.
the RB1.
I think he's actually the largest cap hit on the Seahawks right now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, besides probably Russell Wilson because they had to take the
Yeah,
cap
I'm
hit.
saying.
Yeah.
I could easily see him being the James Conner of this year.
Oh, I see.
Wow, Rashaad Penny you talking about?
Yes,
or,
Rashaad
wow.
Penny.
Oh, I see.
I don't
James
see the
Conner
obvious-
being James Conner this year.
I don't see the touchdowns obviously, but I could see him being that type of ranked player.
That'd be a monster year for him.
I will let you know ahead of time before, or as we're about to transition into the Cardinals. That you're gonna shit yourself when I see how high I have James Conner in my rankings.
I would like to. I would shit myself if I even saw your rankings.
No, you're not going till they're done. Till they're done. Get them done.
Cardinals. Let's talk about them next. Second hardest ranked schedule next year, which is terrible because this team does not look that great. 11th farthest traveling team this year with 19,000 yards miles.
A lot of hard schedule.
It's
A lot of travel.
A lot of travel. A lot of teams they're gonna be going against that they don't want to play. Key addition is gonna be Marquise Brown, Trey McBride, the tight end out of Colorado, who was a second-round pick, and Darrell Williams, the running back from Kansas City.
Any key losses?
Key losses? Not that I know of. They have what's his name?
Hopkins is
Hopkins is
How-
suspended for 6 games.
6 games, right?
It's 6
Okay.
games, yeah. Which is not good. I kind of like it though because he's coming off of a big injury. I'd like him to sit out as long as possible, but that's just me.
It's interesting.
What injury is he coming off? Oh,
Some knee injury, meniscus or something.
yeah, he missed almost all of last year for it. I forget.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
I want to talk about the reunion between college teammates. We got Marquise Brown meeting up with his former college QB, Kyle Murray back when he was the Heisman Trophy winner.
We want to talk about it?
Of Oklahoma. I do.
I was waiting for you to tell me where he went to
I know,
college
I had
that
to
whole
think about
time. It's
Of
like
Oklahoma.
just stalling for time. Oh, you
Yeah.
want me to talk
Yeah.
about it? Tell me where.
Drawing a blank there.
Kyler in the last few years has been one of the most accurate deep ball passers in the league, throwing 66.9% completion percentage on passes over 20 yards. You add in the explosive Hollywood Brown, a little fast little boy. This could be a dangerous team, and I think that there's definitely a lot of opportunity for Marquise Brown to succeed. I am of the belief that I personally don't. I've beaten this over the head over the years now. That I don't think he's very good. His hands aren't great, but he's fast. He can get open, and Kyler can hit people who are open. So there's a lot of opportunity for him. I worry about him actually being able to know how to catch a football.
Hollywood Brown had 7 recorded drops last year. It's progressed worse every year. He went from 2, 6 to 7, which is not getting better. I mean, his targets did increase from 100 to 142 last year. I expect him to have somewhere in 100 to 150 targets this year.
That's 100 to 150 targets.
I'm estimating. What do you want me to do?
That is huge margin.
That's a massive margin.
That's a massive margin.
I mean, yeah, without DeAndre Hopkins for half the season, he's going to see over 100 targets.
I obviously
not
said
150.
That. But I also don't know if Hollywood Brown gets hurt.
Yeah, I know, but that margin's just so wide. It's
It's
funny.
just 50 targets.
Yeah,
We don't know. Rondell Moore could be the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
wide receiver one.
Rondell Moore could be Hollywood Brown.
No.
I tend to agree that Hollywood's going to take over that role as the number 1 guy, but because it's not going to be Andy Isabella.
Not going to be AJ Green.
No, he's too old.
Too old.
I'm surprised AJ Green's even on this team. Was it a re-sign?
Mm-hmm. They just signed him like a month ago. Wasn't even that long ago.
It was for a vet minimum.
Pretty much.
I like Zach Ertz when Hopkins is gone. Just me personally. I think some of us disagree. Trey McBride, phenomenal talent, but I don't know how much work he's going to get. Rookie tight end. He has a veteran in front of him. It's not like Kyle Pitts walking right into like a starting position.
Yeah, I would have loved Trey McBride if he was Zach Ertz wasn't re-signed for this team.
Yeah.
I love the pickup just because I know for a fact early in the year while Hopkins is out, they're gonna go double tight end.
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that this offensive line is shitty. I mean, the fact that you have 2 starting former Giant players that are on the offensive line is just already looking like a horrible thing.
And a couple ex-Vegas Raiders.
Then you have
you're not even kidding.
Hudson's great. I'm not gonna lie, but DJ Humphries and Kevin Bencham is just dog water.
Yeah, Calvin Beach.
DJ Humphries too. Yeah.
This is
so
this is a horrible offensive line.
Yeah,
and you want Kyle Murray to be,
safe,
doubtful at
small.
5'9". No,
he wants a contract too.
I wouldn't re-sign with his team. Why? Why would you?
I would walk.
Just let them franchise you and then go pick whatever team you want.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I love Zach Ertz in the early part of the season until Hopkins comes back. I mean, we saw what Zach Ertz did at the end of the season when he was traded to them. He looked great.
Yep.
This might be a hot take, but I think we're seeing the severe decline of Hopkins. I know, obviously, like he's been hurt, but
it's not a hot take.
See, this would be a good. I would love to have our key topic be Hopkins if he wasn't suspended.
Right. Obviously, him missing half the year. Where is he? I haven't done a mock draft. Where is he going right now? It's got to be late, like super late.
Pretty late.
Like I'm talking 8th, 10th round.
It's been a couple weeks, so pull it up real quick.
Because I know he's obviously still a big name. So probably, listen, Michael Thomas was going, 6th round last year for some reason.
Thomas is going 4th round now.
Yeah, but I'm saying last year, remember, he was supposed to miss half
We
the
went over this
season.
last week. Why?
Yeah, and now, and I bet you Hopkins is probably still going 7th, 8th round.
Yeah, just look up his ADP. Like, what are you
I forgot.
just typing in his fucking name on Google before.
It's like a process. How do you spell DeAndre? Is there an
Overall.
I in there?
Forget
In
like
PPR, he's the 26th drafted wide receiver.
That's too high.
that's
That's
too
too
much.
I'll tell you everything. So, overall, in a PPR league, he's ranked. He's number 82, 80th on ESPN.
12-man league. That's
64
seventh
at
round.
sleepers.
Yeah.
64 on sleeper.
Wow, 6th round. No, 5th if you're in 12-man league. That's
This,
crazy.
this is kind of like Michael Thomas last year.
That's
Yeah,
what I just said.
It was
Yeah,
crazy.
I
That's
just
what we were
saying.
talking about. It's crazy.
That's crazy. There's no way I'd do that.
But here's the difference. Hopkins isn't hurt. He's suspended.
Well,
He's gonna come back and play.
Yeah.
That's questionable. He was hurt, got suspended, and now.
Well, he said
Yeah.
I just looked it up. He's full go. He had an MCL tear. He's full go by training camp. But obviously, he's going to miss the first half. It might not be a terrible thing that he misses the first half.
That's why I said
That'd
I
be good for the
kind of
team.
love that he missed the first half.
Yeah.
Because I think he was being rushed.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see somewhat of his decline. Like last year was rough for him, even before the MCL.
Yeah, he
injury.
wasn't. He was definitely not. I mean, definitely not the wide receiver we thought.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't on. I don't think him and Kyler were on the same page. There's a lot of with a young quarterback. You know, he was used to the touchy feely guy. What's his name? Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
Deshaun Watson.
He had rapport with them. You know, it takes some time to get into it, and then he got hurt.
He's 30 years old.
We
Yeah,
thought he.
no.
I mean, his stats say he had a great season with 1,400 yards.
Not last year, the year before.
That's
Last year.
2020. Last year
Yeah.
he got hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I mean, you can't really say he only played 10 games last year. He
Yeah.
still had a 13.6 yards per reception.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He had 8 touchdowns. That's more than he had on his big year. So
Yeah, but it's more the explosiveness, more the yards. I mean, 500 yards in 10 games. That's not great for him.
And quote unquote air raid offense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Throwing the ball 500 times.
Yeah, they definitely throw the ball 40 times a game.
So we don't expect anything from Andy Isabel.
No, I don't think you need to talk about Andy Isabel.
He's a cut candidate, man.
No, he's gonna be on the team.
He's a cut candidate.
That's the
No good.
Hopkins suspension. It saved his.
Yeah, I guess. We all had high hopes for him.
Yeah, he was about my height and ran fast. So
Yeah.
loved him.
Anything on James Conner? I don't think you talked about him, did you?
James
I-
Conner,
I
this
was-
is you. This is your guy. So
Yeah, there's just so much opportunity.
it is.
Darrell Williams is, he's been a backup. Like this is James Conner's full workload again.
Darrell Williams is the number 1 cock blocker in the world. I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, when Allaire can't stay on the field, I guess, but
He's Darrell Williams might be easily a good PPR pickup,
no.
especially with
James
this
Conner-
air raid freaking offense.
No, but Conner was playing 3 downs by the end of last season, even when Chase Edmonds came back.
Yeah, Chase was in. They moved on from Chase. They kept Connor. No, they brought him Williams in for just a little bit of depth. That's all. That's all I think it is. Because when Clyde was fully healthy, you didn't see much of Williams.
That's not true. I was starting him. Not that great, but
Listen, there's be a lot of touchdowns. A lot of touchdowns for him.
A lot of goal line touchdowns, that's for sure. I mean, every time they got into the red zone, they handed that ball off to
Yeah.
the man.
right now he's the 40th pick in sleepers as a ADP.
Wait. Overall, he's 40th?
Yes.
That's crazy. I would take him in the second round, unquestioned. Wow. He's gonna be a top 10 running back with the
Yeah.
volume alone.
Yeah.
He's the
11th
go up by
in,
the time
in
we get,
ESPN. He's the 11th ranked running back to be picked.
by August he'll be going in the second round. That's
and
crazy.
on sleeper he's the 19th running back picked.
That doesn't make sense.
11 ESPN is killing him. Whoever's ranking the ESPN thing, they're so high on him, and they're feeding them they're feeding him to players.
They're totally just ruining my
Your hot take?
my hot take.
Yeah, it's garbage. It's not even a hot take no more.
Clearly because
Fucking
ESPN's
Your
fucking
take is
stealing my shit.
ice.
Unbelievable. Fucking hate ESPN.
What's the take?
Well, I like you said,
He was top 5 for me.
top 10 for sure.
Top 5.
I'm joking.
Oh.
He put him top. You just saw my rankings, asshole.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Yeah,
He's top 10
I'm
for
getting
sure.
ripped for putting Akers top 10.
Yeah, you should be.
yeah, I think you should.
You should be.
I think you should be, but
I'm not.
You should be.
You're judging a running back who tore his Achilles
Yep.
and came back.
Why?
in the
Why did he
same
come
year.
back? Why? He
They
was
needed
getting a
him.
ring
They're
on his finger
desperate.
anyway.
What?
If he comes out game 1, can't make, because this is relevant to the show, so we can continue talking about it. He comes back week 1, week 2, and continues to rush for 2 yards a carry.
He didn't. That's
He's
not,
never playing again for Sean McVay.
he got benched because of fumbling, not because
He
of
got
his
benched
yards.
because he couldn't run.
Because he has a torn Achilles.
Why is he playing?
Because they needed him. Because Hendricks is a bum.
Henderson was hurt.
He's still a bum. He's always hurt.
So is Akers.
Akers tore his Achilles. That's not the same.
Yep. And how many people have had can't come back, had great careers that have torn their Achilles?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe
Kobe
Kobe was
Bryant.
never the same.
He was never the same after the ACL.
Clay was never the same.
Tell me KD isn't balling on people.
Deontay Foreman, never the same.
I'll give you KD.
Deontay Foreman is a beast.
KD, how many rings does he have since?
Well, no.
That's
but
crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I will say
That's
he
wild.
came back playing well. But the other guys,
Really?
I agree.
He lost to who?
I'm
The
just saying.
Celtics?
I'm just saying.
He lost to Jason Tatum's bum ass? Come on. Al Horford beat him.
Jason Tatum, the most turnovers ever in playoff
Yeah.
Hey, pass LeBron.
finals. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Records meant to be broken, LeBron. Anything else?
That's a wrap.
All right. Mike closes out.
Bye, folks. Follow us on all the social media. FFD_podcast, Degenerates, whatever the fucking hashtag is. I've asked this bum 5 fucking times to put the hashtags on the end of the goddamn thing.
Yeah, you're right.
If he doesn't do it again, we're going to boot him out.
He says it every
Joe
week.
Green, he's out.
Down with Joe Green.
Last page, follow it, hit the subscribe. You love me, I love you. We all make love. Goodbye. Mwah. Smooches.